Welcome back to another episode of InDeep with Indy, where we dive deep. We have the deep conversations, get into healing, your spiritual journey, awareness, and how you have evolved in life. These are conversations that aren't surface level. We go real deep. We get deep off into your soul. We also allow you to learn a few items or a few things as well. Drop a lot of gems and have fun while we're doing it. This episode is going to be one for the books. We're going to get into the life of DJ Sage. Today's guest, she is a selector, creative entrepreneur, mother, and woman who turned a personal outlet into a calling. Her journey includes a 2020 spiritual awakening, single motherhood, walking away from a 7-year relationship, and finding her voice through healing. I want to welcome DJ Sage to my platform. How are you doing today?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
You know, I have to. You know, it's I don't know why my voice started doing that. Okay. It's Women's History Month.
It is.
It is. And shout out to all the women. And we are going to focus on her story versus his story. Yes. So I want to get right into it. Are you ready?
I'm here.
You ready to go deep? How deep are you willing to go?
I'll let you know.
Okay.
If the water has overflown.
I get it. Okay. So we gonna start off. What was being stripped away from your life and identity during that 2020 season like?
My whole identity. Yeah, 2020. First off, we had COVID that year.
We sure did. We was all, well, some people were stuck in the house. I'm not gonna lie. I definitely wasn't playing by the rules.
You was one of the people out there spreading the COVID.
Oh no, and you know what's crazy? I never have had COVID.
Really?
Ever. Never. Even when it came back around this time, I've never had it. And I was scared to get tested before, but I had to, and for my kids to go back to school because my sister, she ended up having it. And she came and she flopped on my bed and she was sick. And I was like, you better not have COVID. And was joking. Girl, she called me the next day talking about she tested positive for COVID. So my kids couldn't go back to school. So we all had to get tested. And we got tested and none of us had it. My kids had to get tested 2 other times. I got tested 1 other time. And we never had it. So they was like, we are carriers because we're immune to it. Okay. So we're carriers. So I probably was accidentally,
But you didn't get symptoms.
Never had it.
Well, that's good.
No point.
You lucked up because that shit was horrible.
So you had it.
I had it. So the first time I had it was before everyone knew what it was. But the symptoms after the fact, I'm like, that's what I had. I was down for 2 weeks. And I have asthma, so I was crawling up the stairs at one point, and I was like, okay, I got to go to the doctor. So the only thing that kept me from going to the hospital was getting a breathing treatment. And I'm glad I didn't go to the hospital because, what was, putting everyone down was the ventilator. So the breathing treatment helped me, yeah. The second time wasn't as bad. The second time, it kind of hit like the flu. But yeah, I hated COVID. I hated it.
Well, I hate that you had that. And just to let y'all know, when we say had that, because people gonna miss the whole conversation of COVID. So I hate that you had COVID. We gotta be specific on my platform. This is Indy, but Indy, they gonna be like, had what? Hold on. Yeah. COVID.
Get that clip.
Yeah.
I will say that COVID was a beautiful time, though. The lockdown was a beautiful time. I mean, outside of getting the drive-by margaritas that I missed.
That was so amazing. You can take it home.
Get a whole picture, be like, hey, girl, come to the crib. We gonna just drink and chill. Yeah. It was nice because it was just quiet. I know I lived by the interstate at that time. And not hearing as many cars just drive by. that was a beautiful thing. Like I would see animals come out in the backyard, like chipmunks.
Yeah.
Never seen a chipmunk in the backyard before. The air was much more clear.
It sure was.
Like going out to the park just felt different. It just
Yeah.
felt magical. I'm like, damn, I kind of feel like I'm in, episode of Snow White sometimes. Just how magical it felt stepping outside. So yeah, to kind of circle back to your question, I discovered a lot about myself that year because, for one, being in the house with somebody, and if it's a toxic situation and y'all are on lockdown, like y'all either gonna make it or break through that relationship.
Yeah.
And we did not make it through.
I get it. I didn't make it past 2020 either, so I get it.
So I mean, yeah, with that, after the breakup, still being on lockdown, I worked from home at the time because I did medical billing and coding at the time. I ran out of stuff to watch on Netflix, on Amazon Prime, on Hulu. And I was like, I'm going to start picking up more podcasts. I'm going to start reading more books. And I started tapping more into spirituality and what it looked like for me during that season of my life, because I just needed something new. Mm-hmm. I just needed something new for myself. And I went down a rabbit hole that I'm glad I went down.
Mm-hmm. And the rabbit hole that you went down, it started, you had to unlearn a lot, right? And then relearn because of that domestication. I tell everybody, the domestication that we go through in our lives, starting off with our parents and everything that they put in our heads. And then you just continuously go, like the world, it just domesticates you into believing so many different things and believing that the way that you are is wrong and all of these different things. And you're not supposed to question certain stuff. And then as you go down, you're like, oh, but I got some questions.
Yeah.
So that rabbit hole, right?
Yes. So much of it, so much more. I mean, I feel like that journey is never ending, to be real, because it's still a lot of times where I question myself and still working on building my confidence. Still have to do affirmations in the mirror to reassure myself that like I am where I'm supposed to be. I belong in certain rooms. And again, like when you're not taught to like look at yourself in a good light growing up, like you have to train yourself that. And it's hard learning that at 30. It's hard learning that and trying to instill that into your kids at the same time. Because I mean, a lot of those traits are passed down, right? So trying not to repeat those cycles, I feel like it's easier said than done. Yeah. Because I mean, a lot of it is just second nature.
It is. A lot of it is second nature. And I know you said something about children, and I thought about something. Once you start to change, like, one spirituality, you start to practice it the way that aligns with you and how you have already raised your kids. And then you're now trying to make it right. How is that? Because, with children, they are sponges and they soak up a lot, especially from their parents. And some of the things that we have already taught them, it's hard for them to wring out. Yeah. And I tell my kids all the time, like, be a sponge to the things that, work for you. But also, so that means you soak it up. I said, but the things that aren't for you, you wring it out. Like a sponge would do. You would wring out the sponge, but then you still have some of that soap in that sponge and you're like, darn, so... How is that?
I think one of the lessons I'm still learning right now is giving myself grace. Because I'm not perfect. I'm never gonna say I'm a perfect parent. My son knows that. Like, we talk. I do give him the floor for communication. There's some times where I'm like overstimulated, and I'm like, I know earlier today we had a moment. I'm like, sometimes you don't have to say everything that comes to your mind. Yeah. Because you got to think of how it affects people. But then I do a good job of circling back And I'll come to him and be like, all right, let's talk about this. Like, I'm gonna let you know why this bothered me. And even though like your point of view was valid, like maybe you can watch how you say things, or maybe like you still have to keep things in mind of how it is gonna affect somebody to an extent, right?
Yeah.
And just learning how to tailor these messages, like it takes time.
It does.
I mean, I go to him sometimes. I will apologize to him and be like, "Hey, I'm sorry if I'm not showing up in the best way right now. You know, Mama's trying to do a lot. Like, I'm trying to be more present because I do worry about not being present enough for him. I'm grateful to have the support system I have, but I also remember growing up in a family where like my dad was there majority of the time for us, like emotionally. And even when our mom was there, like she wasn't emotionally there for us. You know, it was like, get out of my face, you know.
Yeah.
I'm tired. I want to take a nap. And being an
She sound
adult,
like me.
you know, like as an adult, we understand it. You know, we got to give grace for it. But at the same time, like you have a whole human being who didn't ask to be here.
That's true.
And you have to like learn how to, I guess, separate you needing your space to being present for them and making sure like you're raising somebody who can be emotionally intelligent as well, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a process. I'm never gonna be one of those people who act like I have it all figured out. I mean, I'm sure he's gonna go to therapy one day in life and be like, yeah, so let me tell you what my mom fucked up. You know? And I'm sorry, I hope he can come to me and be like, hey mom, you know, here's some things I wish you could have did better. And but I understand and I forgive you.
Yeah. I think that is healthy. And it sounds like the way that I raise my children as well. Teaching emotional intelligence, it's still a little hard. My youngest, she's 9, and it's like, I done instilled all this in you. You got the audacity to act like this. Okay, Indy, let's look. But also, I agree, like, we aren't perfect. We are still human. So I have learned to apologize for certain stuff. Now, some stuff I'm not apologizing to you for because you got to take accountability. Every action has a reaction. And I try to make sure that I respond in a way, like, because, you know, with the response, like, I understand. I have the ability to understand where everything is coming from. That's why I'm able to respond in an intelligent way. A reaction is more of, I'm just reacting off of your action. Like, I'm not even thinking. So sometimes I have to tell my kids, like, every action that you have, there is a reaction for it. And sometimes those reactions aren't good. So you got to think about, like, okay, mommy will react this way. Like, what happens if someone else reacts and they're not mommy? Because mommy loves you. Now, these other people don't. That's where emotional intelligence come into place, because you got to stop, you got to breathe, and you got to move away from things. Like, I had to teach my 9-year-old, like, if something is bothering you to the point to where you can't enjoy yourself, move away from it. Move on to something else. Don't get stuck there. And hopefully that transitions over to relationships as well, because I feel like you have been you was in a long relationship. I was in a very long relationship, 9 years. Yours was 7. And we tend to get stuck somewhere, though it's bothering us. We didn't learn to move on. We learned to, maybe if I just stay right here and keep on doing it, it's going to work. Maybe if I stay right here, it's going to be fixed. Maybe if I do more of this, it's going to work. Maybe if I change this up, it's going to work. No, it's bothering you.
Yeah.
It's bothering your spirit for a reason. You're not supposed to be right there.
The art of letting go.
The art of letting go. Yes. So speaking of letting go, when you walked away from that relationship, what did it teach you about yourself that comfort never could? So my questions are really deep. I try to. I be trying to be surface level.
She said,
I try to be I had surface level conversations. That's my title before, but then people were like, your conversations aren't surface level. So
no, I love this. You know, it was just a long list. No, So
She said it's a long list. Let me tell you.
yeah, no, some things that I had to let go. Was that your question, by the way?
Yeah. So with that relationship, when you did let it go, what did it teach you about yourself that comfort never could? Because the conversation, like, we get comfortable in being uncomfortable. We get comfortable in being disturbed. We get comfortable in toxicity. We get comfortable in all of these different things. So what did it teach you about yourself that comfort never could?
Taught me to trust my own self more. Because to be honest, for one, that relationship, I knew I should have left years before, but I had a lot of family members who were rooting for us to stay together. They low key loved him. But what they didn't see was like the toxic things behind the doors, that was happening. And for my mental health, I'm like, I can't stay. And at some point I had to kind of break it down to them without telling them everything that was going on. Cause I was like, well, he's still going to be around, and I told them enough already. So I was like, you know what, let me not put all my business out there.
Yeah.
So yeah, I learned to start trusting myself, and through me trusting myself, I was happier in that. And then also the Virgo on me, sometimes I try to fix things when I shouldn't. And I think that was a lot of the reason of how that relationship even began. Like me trying to play, a fixer, being a people pleaser. Also, like, he met me in a time of my life where I was just going through it. I had seen a lot. I had experienced a lot, and he was kind of there. So I don't know. I kind of looked at him like he was my savior to some aspect. So I felt like I owed it to him to kind of work with him through all the stuff that we were going through, and to be patient and to kind of put up with a lot of the things. So, yeah, I learned to let go of the guilt and shame around that. It's okay to walk away. Like, you don't owe anybody something just because they did something nice for you or because they helped you at one point. You don't owe them your life.
You don't. Yeah. Like, a lot of times, and that's something I feel like the manipulative people, and some people may call it narcissistic, they throw that word around so much. But the people who need control, or who is toxic, or who isn't healed, feel like, oh, I did this for you, so you gotta do this, and you owe me this, and oh, so you're gonna walk away after I just bought you this. Like, baby, I didn't tell you to do that. I didn't. Like, I'll tell anybody, if I do something for you, it's out the kindness of my heart, baby. If the next day you don't want to talk to me no more, that's fine, because my blessing came from seeing, like, oh, darn, that felt good for you. That made you smile today. That did this. So I had to learn that too, though, because it was times where, you do feel like, oh, darn, you did this for me, so I have to stay. And I think that's the point where I am now, at that place where it's like, no, don't stay just because I did something. Please, that's not what I want. But it may be a trauma response as well, because I felt like I had to stay because someone did something nice for me multiple times. Like, every time it was going downhill, something nice would happen. I'm like, oh, I gotta stay because they're doing this and they're changing and they've done it. Now it's like, baby, please. Please. No.
Then half the time you realize, like, that was bare minimum.
That was bare minimum. It was nothing. No. But yeah. So I'm gonna, like, go into the higher vibrational things. We're gonna leave that where it was. I like to start off at certain places, because then we can know where you are today and how people can grow from it. So I know that you practice, like, meditation, yoga, all of those different things. So with that being stated, what part of you were you attempting to heal when you, or are you, if you're still practicing meditation, yoga, of course, the healing journey? What part of you are you healing? Or what part of you are you returning to as well? Because when you do meditation, yoga, and also your healing journey, what part of you are you returning to?
Right now, literally right now, I am still I am in a big transitional phase of my life. I know I was just telling you I just got through a big move. And before this move, like I don't know, my life was just I felt displaced. Basically, I moved out of an apartment and I didn't want to renew the lease, so I was staying with my parents for a while. But like I said, me and my mom don't have the best relationship. So like it was a lot of, I don't know, a lot of memories that kind of came up just from staying there. A lot of reality check of like what the situation is and how there hasn't been a lot of growth from over the years. So during that period, I was kind of, when I was staying there, I was out the house. I was hustling. I was out doing what I need to do, stack my money. So right now, in this very moment, I am learning how to slow down. Like, it's okay to say no. I think I got caught up in a mode of saying yes to everything, which I think there's stages in your life where it's okay for you to say yes to something so you don't psych yourself out, so you don't walk away from certain opportunities. But it's okay to say no sometimes. Like sometimes you need to rest. Sometimes you need to quiet, all the extra thoughts that are flowing through your mind.
Right.
And in this very moment, I am trying to get back into those practices of doing yoga, meditating, going to be out in nature more. We're finally in spring. The weather is getting warmer.
Girl, when I tell you, because I am a nature girly,
yes.
Grounding, yoga, meditation, hiking, walking, hugging trees, all of that is for me. So I made my kids get up and we went hiking, baby. Okay, and had a ball doing it.
And that's good that you took your kids with you.
Oh yeah, well I'm not. Yes, definitely. Now, a lot of the times I may wait till I get off of work early. I'm like, I'm gonna go before I go get them or something because it's like my quiet time and it's like my recharge.
Yeah.
But it's funny that you say you're getting back into the yoga and the meditation because I had kind of gotten away from it for a couple of months. And I just told myself yesterday, like, oh, no, I got to get back to it. So, girl, I went to my little fitness center in my complex and took my yoga mat and I did some yoga. Told my tail up, baby. And then I meditated afterwards. And then I did my walk on the treadmill to kind of, it's like the cool down. It's crazy how you got to get hot to cool down. But anywho, did all of that and it just felt good. So the meditation is what quiets your mind. When you practice meditation, how hard is it to quiet your mind?
For somebody who, I have conversations with myself all throughout the day internally. Sometimes my mind is not quiet. Half the time maybe a handful of times I've meditated and I've actually achieved like full silence. But for me, a win is a win if my thoughts are positive, if they're in a positive direction. Sometimes like I'm meditating and I'm getting good ideas that come.
Yep.
Sometimes I'm getting answers that I needed to questions that I've been asking. So, that's what meditation looks like for me. And I know it's different for others. Some people can like actually achieve the state of like hearing nothing. I would love to experience that one day.
I feel like monks are probably the only ones that can really do that because they're truly at peace. And it sounds so, what do you call it when it's like mediocre? Is it mediocre? Whatever you call it. Anyways, I forgot the word. It was on the tip of my tongue. I hate when that happens. But I feel like monks are really the only ones because with meditation, the way meditation really works is your mind really don't quiet. Like you'll get to a space where it is quiet for, 2-3 minutes. As long as what happens with meditation is it's supposed to teach you how to come back to your safe space.
Mm-hmm.
So you are supposed to think of positive things with meditation. That's what meditation is. You're thinking of everything positive. You're visualizing things that you want in your life. And sometimes your mind will wander off. Like you'll hear a bird chirping. You'll be like, oh, that bird is chirping. What is it doing? And you catch that and then you come back.
Mm-hmm.
So it's teaching you to teaching you to control your mind and bring it back to where it needs to be. So that's just, that's where meditation is.
And you know what? I will say another thing for me, like I don't look at meditating as me needing to like sit on the floor and cross my legs. And I'm like, me going to the gym.
You got to know the right mantras too if you're doing that because you say the wrong mantra and then your life start doing some things. You like, hold on. What did I do? Yeah, that nom and rise and stuff. You like, oh yeah,
I have
that.
Not.
Don't do those.
Yeah, I haven't learned those yet.
You don't learn. Yeah,
I leave it to the yogis for that. Tell me what to say. But even me like doing cardio, like that's meditation for me.
Yeah.
Outside of just doing yoga, or just sitting there in the morning and like, listening to a meditation video on YouTube. Me in the gym, when I go do cardio, that is relaxing for me. And that's probably why like my mind has been a little in shambles the past few weeks. Because I ain't been in the gym.
Okay.
But yeah, I always notice a shift when I do get back on a consistent workout routine. My thoughts flow a lot more clearly. My energy is so much better. I can get more stuff done. It's easier for me to multitask and get things knocked out. So yeah, I love when people understand that meditation looks different for everybody, and like there's so many different ways to do it.
Yeah, it is, and that's why I always have to tell people because I done laid down in bed and meditated. Okay, I'm just gonna close my eyes for 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
I just need everything silent. Okay. Or I just need to go into a space and just let my thoughts flow. Like, we're women, we're currency, we're supposed to flow. So allow me to flow. Because if I'm not in flow, okay, it's something wrong. But in what ways do you feel like you was making yourself smaller? And for who were you doing that for? Or who were you doing that for? That sentence was so terrible, but yeah.
And I still find myself doing it sometimes, and I have to check myself.
I get it.
There's times when I've been in a room, and I'll actually give you this scenario, girl. I was in Atlanta, went to a DJ set with one of my homegirls, and DJ Miss Falon, she was headlining it. So we went, and lo and behold, like mind you, it's a small club. We're there. People are clearing out because we've been there for the whole night. We sit at this table, and DJ Miss Falon and Doshi are at the table right beside us. Obviously, I didn't want to fangirl, but I'm just like, damn, it would be nice to like go up and like say something. Mm-hmm. And then I go down the stairs. I look to my left and I'm like, this man look familiar. I'm like, it's so deal. Me just being nervous, you know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't want to fangirl. I didn't want to go up and be like, oh my gosh, I'm your biggest fan. But me shrinking myself and not saying anything at all, because at one point, like, I was right there beside them and I couldn't be like, hey, yo, it's nice to meet you. I'm DJ Sage. Like, I love your craft. Just want to let you know I'm inspired. Maybe could have bought him a drink or something. But I think I do that a lot, when I'm in a room with somebody who for some reason, I just don't feel like I belong. I don't feel like I'm worthy enough to say something.
You have imposter syndrome.
Very much. And I'm working through it. But understanding the root of that, again, that's from childhood, like, I didn't grow up in a home where I was really shown emotional love from my mother. You know,
Yeah.
I was shown it from my father all day, but I never really heard like, hey, you look beautiful, you look good, that looks good on you. I was always like nitpicked on, like,
Yeah.
you got to learn how to push the plate away, you know. You're getting big, you gotta lose weight, you know. So it's all these things. So that affects me till this day in my 30s. So that's where that, like I said, the affirmations come into play. I'm constantly having to tell myself, like, I'm worthy, I belong to be in these rooms. Like, you're a human being just like they are.
Of course,
They may be
yeah.
further along in their career than you. But part of it is like, if you want to grow in your career, you're going to have to get comfortable with speaking to people who are in a higher status. So yeah, I'm still learning how to navigate through that actively.
Yeah. And I like that you have the awareness to know, like, darn, I need to navigate through this. I am learning to do this. These are the things that I have to do because, I don't feel like I'm supposed to be here. Let me tell myself that. And, with you being a DJ, you know that this is not a hobby for you, but this is something that you're meant to do, correct? So with that being stated, with the imposter syndrome, I got to ask you, when did you figure out that this is meant for you? And how do you know it's meant for you if you have imposter syndrome?
So I think me navigating through getting over imposter syndrome, it's one thing to know that, like, this craft is for you, like, you're meant to do it. But when I started, like, I really just wanted to be a bedroom DJ, you know? I just wanted to do content and play. The person who taught me, I was like, I'm not trying to get gigs, you know, maybe later on, but I just want to do this as an outlet, do it for fun. So I don't know. I think, honestly, things just sped up quicker than I thought when it came to, like, getting real gigs. So even now, like, me having gigs and practicing for gigs versus me being able to sit in the room, like, have time to sit in a room and create for myself and to really just improve my craft that way and experiment more. Sometimes I feel like I'm not getting enough of that practice. So I think that kind of plays into the imposter syndrome and knowing I'm well-rounded, or, there's also that aspect of comparison,
Comparison is the thief of all joy.
It is the thief. And we know these things, but for some reason, like, it's hard to kind of break away from these concepts, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, just like looking at the next DJ who does their homework, they do their, they are great at networking. They're out at all the gigs. I'm like, I can't be out at all the parties because I got a son, if I'm outside too much, like, where is he? So to answer your question, girl, I'm still navigating through it. Like I said, I'm still figuring it out.
So, do you feel like this is your purpose?
Heck yeah.
Why do you feel like it's your purpose? Because I'm going to help you navigate through. We're going to get through this tonight. Why do you feel like this is your purpose?
Is this what we signed up for now?
Yeah, it actually is. Yes, it is.
No. So I definitely know it's my purpose because it makes me feel good. And honestly, like, this is the only thing in life that I've stuck with this long.
Okay.
I will say, and even though I haven't been doing it that long, but when I say I've stuck with it this long, like, I will not get sleep at night sometimes because I'm just up. I'm like, I got to get through a mix. I gotta get this out my head. Let me, okay, I'm getting bored. Let me study some other genres. I love hip hop. I love R&B. Those are my babies when it comes to the genres that I love to really listen to. But sometimes I get bored with mixing those. So, like, learning more about house music and knowing, like, there's UK garage, there's French house, there's deep house, like, understanding all those.
I ain't got time.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, but
like,
I love that for you.
It's a lot, but just knowing that, like, I'm willing to go down different rabbit holes and learn from other people and just not like I said, I can detour my direction in that. That's kind of why I know it's my purpose. And yeah,
Yeah, your purpose, you're serving someone too. So you serve yourself first. And as you serve yourself with your purpose, then it tends to trend and serve others. When you start making mixes for yourself and you put them out, I guarantee you those mixes go up because it's for you. And that's what your purpose is, but it's to serve other people too. They didn't even know that they needed it and you didn't either. So I'm sure that when you're making a mix for you and you put it out there, whether it's TikTok or on social media, it goes up higher than you making something for someone else. Because, you're introverted.
Very.
And you're a DJ in public spaces. That's why you wanted to do bedroom DJing. Because you was like, girl, listen, I'm not finna go in there. But you show up so powerfully in these spaces. How? Are you a chameleon? Are you omniverted? Ambiverted? I just learned about ambiverted. I thought it was just omniverted. Girl, listen.
Look, and I forgot what omniverted is.
Omniverted is more of like a chameleon. Like you got a balance.
Okay.
And then ambiverted, I think that's more of like you get drained from being extroverted and you just gotta shut down like that and just
That's me.
So you ambiverted. Okay.
Yeah, I love being alone. And my friends know it. Like, I'm blessed to have the friends I have because
they're low maintenance.
I'm not gonna pick up the phone and talk to you every day. If you text me, it needs to be who, what, when, where, and why. Like, give me the bullet points. I'm not gonna have a back and forth conversation all throughout the days. That's just not me. I do love face-to-face meetups, but it's not gonna be every week, you know. So yeah, I enjoy going out and being with people because obviously sometimes you get bored being in the house by yourself. But I just feel like my thoughts flow better when I'm at home alone. Even when it's a lot that's circulating, whether it's like things from the past, I just heal through that when I can sit at home and I can navigate through it, whether it's me writing, journaling, or mixing. So that helps me channel it out so I can show up better when I step out into the community.
I love it. What kind of faith has been required to bet on yourself in this season? Because obviously you got to have some type of faith with everything that you battle within. So what does that faith look like?
I'm not religious.
Yeah. So when I say faith, I'm saying because I'm not religious either. I'm very spiritual. I can take from a lot of different religions, and if it applies to me, then it's like that feels good. I believe in God, but I'm not condemned to one thing.
Yeah.
So I get it. So when I say something about faith, I have faith in myself. I have faith in God. I have faith in Mother Nature and her recharging me. Like, like I have faith in these things. So what does that faith look like? Especially with the things that you battle, you not having that. You haven't been shown love or affection. I mean, you have with your father, but with your mother as a girl, we need our moms. We need our moms to show us a lot of stuff. So I get it because I've been there. So I get it. We need our moms to show us a lot, right? And when we don't have that and we're sitting here questioning our worth, because that's what you're doing with imposter syndrome. You're questioning your worth. Now I'm at a point to where I don't care who you are. Baby, I belong here just as much as you do. And I'm coming in here and I'm going to come with my pen and paper because I need you to teach me some stuff. So let me ask you some questions. Yeah, what's up? I'm trying to get where you are. Matter of fact, I'm trying to get past you. But I can't tell you that because you may be intimidated.
Yeah.
So what's your faith look like?
I think what gets me through and what continues to give me my drive is I think it's honestly my perspective on life and death. For me, just dealing with death early on, and just kind of hitting that perspective of like, dang, like a lot of people are leaving, like how do you, like, what is life if we're just here and we're gonna leave at some point, like
Yeah.
you think about that at a younger age. So for me, I think what drives me is understanding like we're here, so make sure the quality of life you live is something worth living for.
Yeah.
If I make it to a point where like I'm ever on my deathbed and it's not like a freak accident, and I'm looking back on my life, I want to say that I did everything that I wanted to. I want to say I lived a full life. I tried a lot of things and I didn't allow fear to hold me back. So even going back to imposter syndrome, like, yeah, it's real, it exists, but just learning to do things scared, I mean, that'll get you further. And then at some point, you get more used to
Yeah.
it. Like, I know maybe a year or two ago, like, even me sitting here, my voice would have been shaky. I would have been over here.
Like,
Clearing, But we get more accustomed to it the more you kind of like push yourself off that ledge. You jump off the diving board. And I think that's the faith that I have. I just know, like, if I continue to try and push myself even when it feels uncomfortable, and I ask questions, I course correct, I'm not afraid to ask people like, hey, how did you navigate through this? Like, how did you overcome this challenge? Because I know you probably went through it. Like, that's how I course correct, and we just keep pushing.
I love it. What has authenticity cost you, and what has it given back?
Authenticity.
What has it cost you?
I mean, for you to even be your authentic self, you have to know yourself, right? So it has cost me friendships, right? Because there's been times where I have to reflect and I'm like, okay, maybe this friendship is not helpful in the direction I'm growing, because again, I have that fixer personality, right? That mentality. And sometimes it can be easy to be like, oh, hold on, like, let me show you how to get up here with me. And it's like, you can't pull somebody up there with you, right?
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. I lost my train of thought that quick.
No, you're fine.
And re-ask me the question.
So what has authenticity cost you, and then what has it given back to you?
Okay. But what has given back to me is just learning how to be more comfortable within myself, right? I used to be so concerned about trying to fit in boxes, especially being in a corporate world. Corporate, you have to be a certain way, especially as a Black woman, right? You have to dress a certain way. You have to talk a certain way.
Yeah, you do.
So me just kind of like stripping away from that and just learning the things that I like for myself, and even down to my style. Like, I know with my current job, how I kind of went in the door and how I am right now is completely different. And sometimes they're like, oh, red eyebrows, like, that's interesting. And I'm like, that's just me. Like, is it going to stop me from doing the job? No.
Yeah.
But me learning to just be comfortable in my own skin, and not worried about the judgment of others, like, it's allowed me to be more free. It's allowed me to be more expressive, and it's helped a lot with the anxiety.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's very important for me to really just like let go of the opinions of others, because I already got a lot in my head,
Yeah.
If it's a lot of thoughts already going on, like, you can't be worried about what other people think of you, right?
Yeah, and I agree. I am in corporate as well. I'm an HR manager, so
You know.
I get it. And girl, I get so tired because my dad, he is up there in the world, like he's actually like an operational manager. So he's like up there type of deal. And he was talking about my nose rings. They're going to be there. Matter of fact, now that you say something, let me make sure I wear a bigger nose ring that just hangs down too when I go in here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because one thing, or my hair, or coloring my hair certain ways, because, or big earrings versus small earrings, and all of these things, because I'm a Black woman in this corporation. And it's like, so tired of people putting this narrative on Black women as if we can't be who we are.
Yeah.
And we are judged off of that. Please. So I get it. I do talk professional. How I talk at work is totally different, and how I carry myself at work is different from how I talk and carry myself in here. Of course, I wouldn't wear this, I wouldn't wear my stomach showing and my little blue jeans and stuff. Well, I have wore blue jeans, but they'll be just plain blue jeans, and I'll dress it up with a blazer or something. Like, it'll be different versus how I am on my podcast, or how I am at an event, or things like that. So I get it. And that's just us being talented chameleons. We know how to switch it. But also staying our authentic self up underneath all of those clothes and the way we talk, because that's still a part of us. Our professionalism.
Yeah.
I hate when people be like, oh my God, you talk like a white girl. No, I don't. I'm educated.
Okay.
I'm intelligent. I worked hard for this wisdom, and I'm going to speak as though. And honestly, the Black woman is the smartest creature on this realm. If you want to be, politically correct. So let's not say that it's a white woman. How about you say that I'm talking like an intelligent Black woman, or the intelligent Black woman I am. So continue to be your authentic self.
You know what? I will say, to add to what you were saying with like the switching it up. I think that's one thing that I'm tired of having to do, is like, why do I have to switch it up, code switch? And I get to an extent, like, obviously I'm not going to go into work, and like you said, I'm not going to have my stomach out. I'm not going to, wear certain clothing when I'm in there. But outside of that, if I want to come in with some red eyebrows, if I want to come in with, my septum piercing, does that stop me from doing the job?
Exactly.
Yeah. And I just think society in general, honestly, half of the stereotypes we have when it comes to, or the baselines we have for how we're supposed to be act, like, those are European teachings.
Yep.
Do I look European? Do you look European?
No.
You know what I'm saying? So like, why are we even conforming to their ideas narrative on how we should be? So I really love when I see, and like growing up, and even on TV, like we used to see Black women on TV. They used to always have the perm, straight hair. Used to always try to look like the white woman. So I love how now we're embracing more of
us,
our natural looks, and outside of just wearing natural hair, like we can speak proper without having to sound white.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
So I think that's a lot of that kind of ties into authenticity as a Black woman, and just like learning how to still be yourself within it, and not losing yourself within the code switching.
Right. I agree. I love that. That was a good place to kind of end, but we're going to go into my spirit round, or it's my spirit fire round. Okay. You have 5 to 10 seconds to answer each question. You ready? Do you need to breathe, meditate, do a...
All right, we ready?
You ready? Okay. What did heartbreak teach you?
Resilience.
What does healing feel like?
Healing feels like jumping into the pool You
And
know
you
how
can't
it gets
swim?
cold first.
I thought you was trying to
Your
say you
body
can't swim.
goes into shock, but then it warms up. That's
Yeah.
how it feels. Yeah.
Okay. What does music give you?
Music gives me inspiration.
What does silence teach you?
Silence. Ooh, that teaches me a lot.
What's the
Silence
main
teaches
thing?
me how to trust myself.
Love it. What are you still unlearning?
Old patterns.
What does freedom look like to you?
Freedom looks like me not being tethered to any judgment or the thought of harsh realities from me just being me.
What part of yourself are you still getting to know?
I'm still getting to know my higher version of me. Yeah.
I think we all are.
Mm-hmm.
Who are you becoming?
I'm becoming a woman who is not afraid to move forward without looking back.
I love that. I like to always end with an affirmation,
Okay.
and you have to finish it, okay? I honor myself now by...
Read that again.
I honor myself now by...
Reaching my fullest potential.
Clock it. I love it. Thank you so much for coming on to my podcast. It was definitely a pleasure speaking with you. Before we end, give them your handles. If you have anything coming up, let them know.
So you can find me on Instagram at I am DJ Sage, and you'll just have to follow me to see what's coming up.
Ooh,
Yeah.
she said that. I like that. That's a good strategy. Marketing. You in marketing or something? You do marketing?
You know, I do a lot of things.
I like it. Jill of all trades like me. I'm here for it. Y'all, thank you so much for watching In Deep with Indy. Y'all already know how this goes. Like, share, comment, subscribe, comment, engage, share, because a lot of people need to hear some stuff. And just continuously be the best you, doing the best that you can. The best thing is for you. I think that's how I go. Anywho, yes, thank you so much for watching. Peace. Peace, love, and light. I ain't did this in a while. I'm human.